So now if you see the question states here of the remaining. So before calculating on the remaining, we'll calculate how many parrots remain. So how many parrots remain? You have X parrots. You had X parrots here. Let me just do this once again. Okay, you had X parrots here and minus the number who flew away, X by 5, and the number who died, X by 20. Okay. Now we want to take the LCM. Yesterday I was trying to explain to you how to take the LCM. You see here, you have got a 1. Okay. So you take the LCM of this 1, this 5, and this 20. So LCM of 1, 5, and 20 is clearly 20. Now what you do is you divide 20 by this 1. You divide. How much do you get? 20 by 1. If you divide, you get 20. And this 20 that you get, you multiply by this x. So you get here 20x. Next, this 20 again, you divide by 5. Okay, this 20 you divide by 5. So if you divide 20 by 5, how much do you get? You get 4. This 4 now you multiply with this x. So you put the minus sign here, minus 4x. Next, this 20 again you divide by this 20. So how much do you get? 20 by 20 is 1. So once you get this 1, you multiply this 1 by this x. So you get simply x. Okay, so this is how you take the LCM. I had explained to you before also when I was doing linear equations, and I explained this to you again also. So please understand this very well, how to take the LCM, because LCM you will be taking later on also in geometry, in algebra, okay, in arithmetic, everywhere you will be taking LCM. So LCM you need to understand very well. So what do you get here? You get 20x minus 5x divided by 20. So you get 15x by 20. Okay, so this cancels here. You get 3x by 4. So how many parrots remaining? There are 3x by 4 number of parrots that remain. Okay. There are 3x by 4 number of parrots that remain. Now the thing here is of the remaining, 45% was sold. So of the remaining here is 3x by 4. And how much is of the remaining? Of the remaining, 45% was sold. So how many was sold? 45% of the remaining. Okay, and what is the remaining? 45% of remaining. Remaining is 3x by 4. So now we want to calculate this. So this will cancel. I have 9, 520, and then this will become, nothing cancels now. This will become 27x by 80. This is the number of parrots that was sold. So what you need to see here is 45% of the remaining I have calculated. This time 45% of 3x by 4, not 45% of x. Okay, that is the difference here. So this number was sold. Okay, and 33 parrots remain. So how many parrots now remain? Therefore, finally, number of parrots that remain. How many parrots were left initially?
Good morning,
Remain.
sir.
Good morning. We were left with 3x by 4 parrots. And how many parrots were sold here? 27x by 80. So 27x by 80. This is finally the number of parrots that remain. So now you take the LCM once again. But LCM of 4 and 80 is 80. Okay. So you have 80 by 4 is 20. 20 into 3 is 60. Minus 80 by 80 is 1. 1 into 27x is 27. I just showed you how to take the LCM. So this comes to 33x by 80. And what is given here? That now only 33 parrots remain. So this number, whatever is parrots remain, this must be equal to how many parrots remain here? It is given 33 parrots remain. So therefore, this 33x by 80 must be equal to 33. So now you can calculate. So therefore, 33x is equal to 80 into 33, and therefore x is equal to 80 into 33 divided by 33. These two cancel, you get 80. Okay. So this is what this is. Next, so that means we get x is equal to 80. That means x is this is the number of parrots that were purchased initially. Okay, that was what the question was. The question here was find the number of parrots that had been purchased. Let us look at the next question. A candidate who gets 36% marks in an examination fails by 24 marks. Okay, so someone in your class got 36% of the marks. Okay, although he got 36%, but he failed by how many marks? He failed by 24 marks. Don't think that 40% is the pass mark. Okay, don't think like this. Okay, 40% may not be the pass mark. In certain other, in certain other boards, the pass mark may be 50% also. Okay, so don't have this in your mind that 40% is the pass mark. Just see what is stated here. The candidate gets 36% marks. 36% of what? 36% of the total marks, right? He gets, but he fails by 24 marks. So whatever was the pass mark, he fails by 24 marks. And there is another candidate in your class, another student in your class. He gets 43% of the total marks. Okay, and he gets 43%. He actually gets 18 more than the pass marks. Whatever was the pass marks, I don't know. We don't know what the pass mark is, but he got 18 more than the pass marks. Okay, yeah, the question here is find the maximum marks and the percentage of pass marks. So what I assume here is let the maximum marks be 100. X. Let the maximum marks be X. Let the maximum marks be X. Now for the first candidate, how much marks is he getting? He is getting 36% of the total marks. Marks secured. How much he got? 36% of the total marks, right? He got 36% of the total marks. Okay. So that means this comes to, if you cancel with 4, you get 9x by 25. So he gets this much marks, 9x by 25. And what happens? He is failing by how many marks? He is failing by 24 marks. If he fails by 24 marks, then what should be the pass marks? Pass marks should be 9x by 25 plus 24, right? Because if you add 24 to 9x by 25, then only you'll get the pass mark because he fails by 24 marks. Suppose for you the pass marks is, suppose you in a certain paper, you got 26 and I tell you that you have failed by 14 marks. So what should be the pass marks? It should be 26 plus 14 equal to 40. So similarly, he got 9x by 25 marks and he's failing by 24 marks. That means that pass marks should be this. Now we come to the second candidate. For second candidate, marks secured. %43 of the total marks. He secured this much. So he has got 43x by 100. Okay. And what happens? He gets 18 more than the pass mark. Suppose you get 56, and I tell you that you have got 16 more than the pass mark. Then what is the pass mark? 40. So therefore, what should be the pass marks in this case? 43x by 100. And he got how much more than the pass marks? He got 18 more. That means if I subtract 18 from his marks, this should be the pass mark. So now in both the cases, the pass marks have to be the same because they are appearing for the same exam. The pass marks have to be the same. So pass marks of the first candidate must be pass marks of the second candidate also, because pass marks is the same for all. Okay. So now you can solve this equation. You can take x's together on one side, 9x by 25 minus 43x by 100. And you can take all the numbers on the other side, minus 18 minus 24. Now you can take the LCM here. 100 is the LCM. So 100 by 25 is 4. 4 into 9 is 36. X minus 100 by 100 is 1. 1 into 43x is 43x is equal to minus 42. Now 36 minus 43 is minus 7x divided by 100 is equal to minus 42. That means this minus, that means you get minus 7x is equal to minus 42 into 100. So that means you get x is equal to minus 42 into 100 divided by minus 7. So clearly here 7 and minus and minus cancel. 7 will cancel with 6, so you get 600. So what is the pass marks here? The pass marks was 600. Okay. Not pass marks. In fact, the maximum marks. We have taken the maximum marks to be x, and we have got the maximum marks as 600. So that takes care of the first part of the question. The first part of the question is find the maximum marks, and next part is find the percentage of pass marks. Percentage of pass marks. What is the pass marks here? What is the pass marks here? Pass marks here is this 9x by 25 plus 24, or this 43x by 100 minus 18. So any one you can take. So therefore, what is the pass marks? One thing that I've forgotten in the solution, I'll just doing, I've forgotten this here. There has to be one extra step here, percentage of pass marks. Okay, you just add this to your notes, percentage of pass marks. I've forgotten to do this. Okay, so first let us calculate pass marks here. What is the pass marks? You either put in 9x by 25 plus 24, or you put in 43x by 100 minus 18. Let us put it in the first one, 9x by 25 plus 24. Put x is equal to 600. Okay, so this you get 216 plus 20. You get 240. So how much is the pass marks? 240. And what is the total marks? 600. So therefore, what is the percentage of pass marks? This step I did not write. Okay, percentage of pass marks. How do you calculate percentage of pass marks? Pass marks is 240 and total marks is 600 into 100. That's it. This is the percentage of pass marks. Cancel with 6. So 40% is the pass marks. Okay. So that's it. Now from the assignment, let us finish the assignment very, very quickly. Okay. Question here is, out of 8,000 candidates, 60% were boys. Okay. If 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls pass the exam, find the number of candidates who failed. Total is how much? 8,000. It is said 60% are boys. So now how much is number of boys is how much? 60% of 8,000. So this is 4,800. 4,800 were boys. So therefore, what is the number of girls? 8,000 minus 4,800, which is 3200. Okay, now next part of the question. If 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls pass the examination, so number of boys who passed is how much? 80% of the boys. How many boys are there? 4800. 80% of 4800. This much boys, this many boys, they passed. Okay, so this comes to 3840. Okay, and number of girls who passed. What is the percentage of girls who passed? 90%. Okay, so this to cancel. So you get 2880. This many girls who passed. So find the number of candidates who failed. So total number who passed, total number of candidates who passed. Total number of candidates who passed is equal to 3840 plus 2880. Okay. So this much passed, 6720. So how many failed? Number of candidates who failed? Total candidates, total number of candidates minus number of candidates who passed. What is the total number of candidates? 8000. Out of which 6720 they passed. So how many failed? 1280. This many failed. Okay, so that takes care of your first problem. Second problem here, Pratibha reduced her weight by 15%. If she now weighs 59.5 kg, what was her earlier weight? So we want to calculate the original weight here. So let's say the original weight here is, this was number 2, original weight. Say let us say original weight is equal to x. Okay. Now from the original weight, how much are we reducing? What is the reduced weight?
15%.
15% is the reduced weight. But how do you calculate the reduced weight? If you remember how to calculate the reduced quantity, 1 minus 15 by 100 into the original quantity, right? This is the reduced weight.
Yes, sir.
So this is 17x by this is 17x by 20. So according to the problem, 17x by 20 is 59.5. You solve this equation and then you get, you must get x is equal to 70 kg. This was the original weight. Okay. Next, number 3, increase the price of rupees 200 by 10%. Increase a price of rupees 200 by 10% and then decrease the price by, yes, what happened?
Sir, you will not ask anybody.
No, not here, not now, later on. When I'll be do discount, then I'll ask. Okay, these are very
Okay,
basics.
sir.
Increase the price of 200 by 10% and then decrease by 10%. So first of all, increase by 10%. What is the increased price? Increased price is, you're increasing 200 by 10%. So you increase 200 by 10%. So this is the increased price, right? So now what happens? This cancels. You get 11 by 10 into 200, which is 220. We increased by 10%. Now this 220 that we got, now we are decreasing by 10%. So now decreased price. Decreased price is 1 minus 10 by 100 into the increased price. Okay, because first we are increasing and then the same quantity we are decreasing. So this becomes, now if you take the LCM, 10 minus 1 by 10 into 220, it's 9 by 10 into 220. This cancels. So you get 9 into 18, um, 198. Okay, so that is, this is your decrease. This is your final price. Okay, is the final price same as the original price? What was my original price here? What was my 200?
200.
200.
Is the final price same as the original price? No. The
No,
answer
sir.
is no.
No, sir.
So that's it.
No.
Next and the last problem, very important problem also. Okay, so please be very careful while solving this problem. Okay, the question here is the price of sugar increases by 20%. By what percent should Maya reduce the consumption of sugar so that the expenditure on sugar may remain the same? Now every household has a certain budget, right? Okay, that they have
Yes,
to
sir.
spend, 3,000 rupees every month on say rations. Okay, now what happens when the prices increase? Then this budget get disturbed. Okay, that means you need more money if the prices increase. So what happens is that uh, you reduce your consumption a little in order to keep your budget the same. Okay, that is why here it is given the price of sugar is is increased by 20%. So by what percent should this lady, she should reduce her consumption so that she does not exceed her budget. Okay, the household otherwise she'll have to ask her father or her husband for more money. Okay, so that means she will have to reduce the quantity that is she's purchasing. So by how much should she reduce? Let us say that let Maya originally
Sir, can I say this
wait let
question
Maya
answer?
let Maya originally uh, consume. Okay, let Maya originally consume 1 kg of sugar. Okay, priced at say rupees 100 a kg, rupees 100 per kg. Okay, suppose the price of the sugar was 100 rupees per kg and Maya used to consume 1 kg. Okay, so what was the original budget, original expenditure? Original expenditure was 100 per kg rate of sugar into how much was she consuming? 1 kg. So she was spending how much? Rupees 100 on sugar. Now what happens? The price of sugar increases by 20%. So therefore, what is the increased price?
Sir, 120.
Increased price is 1 plus 20 by 100 into 100. Okay, so this becomes 120 per kg. Rupees 120 per kg. Okay. So now what happens? Initially she was original expenditure was 100. Okay. So now what is the expenditure?
Sir, 120 rupees per kg.
Now expenditure is 120 into 1. Now she is spending 120 rupees. Okay. That means she has to reduce her expenditure from 120 to 100, right? So if a quantity changes
Yes, sir.
from 120 to 100. Okay, so what is the change here? Change in expenditure is 120 minus 100, which is 20. Okay, this is the change in expenditure. Therefore, what should be the reduction in consumption? You have to find by how much should she reduce. What should be the reduction in consumption? Change in expenditure divided by original expenditure into 100, because 120 needs to reduce to 100, right? That's a budget. She could only spend rupees 100 on sugar. Okay, so changing expenditure is 20, and original expenditure is was 120, because from 120 she needs to change to 100. 120 into 100, and this cancels to 1 to 6, so you get, and further this cancels 3 and 50, so you get 50 by 3. This comes to 16 2/3%. Okay, so this is the um, consumption that she has to reduce. Okay, so this is done. Percentage over. Let us now start with profit and loss. It is actually a part of percentage only. Now in profit and loss, we have a cost price, we have a selling price. You already know all this. We have a profit. Cost price is, suppose I am a shopkeeper, the price at which I am purchasing a certain article is called the cost price. Now this article, same article, if I'm selling it, okay, that is called the selling price. Okay. Now suppose I purchase an article for rupees 100 and I sell it for rupees 120. How much is the profit that I'm making? 20 rupees, right? It is selling price minus cost price. Similarly, and here is, since I'm making a profit. Now suppose if I buy an article for rupees 100 and I'm selling it for rupees 90, then what is the loss that I'm making? 100
Sir,
minus
10
90.
rupees.
That means cost price minus selling price.
10
So
rupees.
whenever there is a loss, profit is selling price minus cost price. But when we are talking about loss, we are talking about cost price minus selling price. Okay. Remember, loss is always cost. Whenever cost price is greater than selling price, whenever selling price is greater than cost price, then you get a profit. And whenever cost price is less than the selling price, you get a loss. Okay. Or you can say selling price less than cost price, you get a loss. Okay. So that is what, and I've given you certain examples. You can go through these on profit and loss. These are very simple examples. What is main thing that needs to be discussed here is profit percentage. Now what is profit percentage? Remember, bear this in your mind always, that whatever profit that we calculate or loss that we calculate, any profit or loss has to be calculated on the cost price. Okay, remember this sentence for the rest of your life, that any profit or loss that is calculated on the cost price. Okay, so suppose I'm making a profit P, then what is my percentage profit? Percentage profit is the profit that I make, and because profit is calculated on the cost price, I will divide it by cost price and multiply it by 100. That is how you calculate the percentage profit. Let us see this very simple example here. The example is, by selling an article for 1636.25, a dealer gains 96.25. Find his gain percentage. So clearly here, do you know the cost price? He's selling the article for 1636.25, and the profit is also given, profit or gain is also given 96.25, but you don't know the cost price. So what you do here is that you know that profit is selling price minus cost price. So from here you can calculate the cost price first. So profit is 96.25 and selling price is 1636.25 minus cost price. So therefore the cost price we calculate from here, it comes to 1540. This is the cost price. And why do we need the cost price? We need the cost price because we need to find out the profit or the gain percentage. And gain percentage, remember I told you, is dependent on the cost price. Okay, cost price is something that is very, very important. Always in most of the problems you will be required to calculate the cost price. So what I have calculated here is I have calculated the cost price. Now once I have calculated the cost price, therefore what should be my percentage gain or percentage profit? It should be the profit that he's making. Okay, 96.25, and that has to be divided by the cost price and then multiplied by 100. Okay, so after cancellation you get 6.14%. That's it. Okay, so calculation of cost price is very important. Similarly, for loss percentage also, you proceed exactly in the same way. Even for loss, you need the cost price. So you calculate the cost price and then you calculate the loss percentage. Okay. Next is next type is calculation of selling price when profit percentage and cost price is given. This is something that is very easy. Now, when do we get a profit? We get a profit. Remember this again, that since profit and loss both are calculated on the cost price, when we get a profit, what we are doing is we are when we get a profit, what we are doing is we are increasing the cost price by p% profit percent. Okay, and when we are making a loss, what is happening? We are decreasing the cost price by the loss percent. So if you see, in both the cases cost price is involved. You increase the cost price by p% profit percent, you get the profit, you get the selling price. You increase the loss by loss, you decrease the cost price by your loss percent, you get the selling price. Look at this. For example, a dealer purchases an article for rupees 32360 and gains 8%. Okay, dealer purchases. So here in this case we see what is the cost price of the dealer here, 2360. So we have got the cost price, and he gains 8%. Find his selling price. So what should be the selling, what is the gain percent given here? Percentage p is given to be 8%. So what should be his selling price? Now, as I told you, that we get the selling price only if we
Yes,
increase
15 minutes profit.
the cost price by by the profit percentage. So what is the uh, how do we increase percentage? Just now we did into the original quantity cost price. So that is your selling price. So 1 plus 8 by 100 into 2360. So as simple as that. So remember that calculation of selling price from cost price is very easy. Okay, in one step you'll be able to get. But the calculation of cost price when selling price is given, that is something that you must understand mainly. You can cancel this, whatever comes to, I won't calculate because I've already solved this. Okay, that this is what you need to know. So calculation of selling price from a given cost price is very easy. But when cost price is not given, then it becomes a um, little more, um, you know, lengthy. Instead of one step, you'll have to do two steps. Okay, that we will see in the next class. Okay, I stop here for today.